Great. And let's have our next speaker tonight, who is Alex Batchelor. She is a molecular biology fellow who works for TAMR. I don't know if I'm saying the name correctly. Perfect. Great. And she is their strategic sales engineer. And she built a data set to help plan clinical trials. And she has also contributed to the growth of all of our students and all the partner schools. So we would like you, Alex, to come now to the virtual stage and share with us a little bit of your experience and a little bit about your path here in Open Avenues.
Thanks, Lena. Can you all hear me? Yeah. Carol, you're a hard act to follow. I'll try my best. So I wanted to tell a little bit of a personal story, and the reason I want to tell this is because I hope it conveys the impact that Open Avenues has on our lives. So I never intended to make the US my home. Back in 2012, when I was an undergrad, I happened to get the opportunity to do an internship in New York, and I'd never been to the US. And I didn't intend to stay there. I was a science nerd and I planned to do a PhD, but I thought I would do it at my home in the UK. So I started this internship and I discovered that I loved doing science in the US. The labs were really well funded. They were doing cutting edge research. And I remember going to several talks that just blew my mind. Like, I can still remember the content of the talks. It was amazing. So over the course of the summer, I decided I really wanted to do a PhD in the US. And during that summer, I happened to meet a young Austrian student called David Ding. And I had a sneaking suspicion that if I got into a good grad school in the US, that David might follow me there. So that fall, I applied to grad school. And in 2013, when I was 21, I moved to the US to start my PhD. And I still had the intention of returning to the UK once I was done. It turns out that doing cutting edge research myself was quite difficult, and finishing my PhD was certainly a struggle. But I had many wonderful experiences too. So I made friends with a group of people from all over the world, from Palestine, Iran, Serbia, Italy, Mexico, and I developed a love for vast American open landscapes. And luckily, David did follow me to grad school. He started a program at the same university a year later. So then kind of jump forward to 2018, and I was finishing up my PhD, but David still had a few years of research left to do. So I decided to get a job in industry while he finished up. So as a scientist, I had my 3 years of OPT, and I thought this will all be fine until David finishes a PhD, and my company started applying for the H-1B. But unfortunately, 3 years go by, I still hadn't been selected in the H-1B. David still hadn't finished his PhD. So, and at that point, I was 30. I'd spent my entire adult life in the US, and I was starting to realize that the US was my home. And David and I actually got married, and also Brexit was happening. It was unclear whether there was any country that we could actually live together in. And so it became a very stressful time in my life. I started to wonder, like, would I be able to live with my partner and like with my close friends, or would I be separated from them? And I was imagining a situation where I had to go and live in a country where I had actually very few friends left. So fortunately, the company I worked at had been working with Open Avenues, and they suggested that this was a path for me to stay in the US. And I remember first meeting Danielle and being so impressed with her professionalism and audacity, and also feeling hopeful that I might be able to stay. And so the rest is history. I'm here today graduating as an Open Avenues Fellow and as a US permanent resident. And a side note, if anyone else is still trying to apply for a green card, I'm happy to talk you through what the process was like for me. So my first thank you today is to Open Avenues for helping people like me and the other fellows on this call stay in the place that we call home. So Danielle, Elena, Rua, Erin, Danila, I don't know if Nash is still here. Whenever you're like having a hard day and work is stressful, I hope you remember how important it is that I could stay at my home, and the same for other fellows here. A few more thank yous. So Open Avenues is one of those rare organizations that's doing so much good work. So my second thank you today is to the whole Open Avenues team and all the fellows here for the impact that you have on students. I learned so much from Elena about how to build thoughtful education programs that are designed to meet the needs of all students. Even though I'd done quite a bit of teaching before, Elena really just made me think about it in a new way. And then Rua, I think it's really cool to see the work that you've been doing with CUNY and kind of helping students that were you're just a few years ahead of. And I know that Open Avenues internships can be life-changing experiences for students that often don't really have any other opportunity to get industry relevant experience. And then my final thank you today is to my fellow fellows. Working 2 jobs is not easy. Working 2 jobs while being worried about whether you're going to be kicked out of your home in the middle of a pandemic is even harder. You're all persistent, strong people driving innovation and helping students less fortunate than you. You've inspired me during my time at Open Avenues. I'm just always impressed by how, despite the fact that you're all working 2 jobs, you bring so much energy to the calls that we have. And so thank you for that inspiration. And just in case you think now is the time to relax and put your feet up, I'd like to finish with a call to action. As Carol said, we were unlucky once, but we're now the lucky ones, and we won the lottery. So let's help others that follow in our footsteps, whether that's by continuing to support Open Avenues or the students we've worked with, or encouraging our companies to hire more immigrants. Let's open some more avenues. Thank you.